So, for my lesson today, I'm going to be teaching my sister Emma how to play the oboe. We are only given about 20 minutes, and I think the hardest part about playing the oboe is learning how to get a sound out on the reed, and so that's what we're going to start with. She played the saxophone in what, 6th grade, 7th grade? 6th and 7th. So, she slightly understands the idea of playing a reed instrument, but I think that playing a double reed instrument feels a lot different. So what you're going to do is you're going to produce the same air that you would have produced when you were playing the saxophone. You're going to put this in your mouth, and you don't want to go past the red point. You're going to want to go to about here, and I want you to pretend that there is a drawstring around your lips and it's pulling it shut so no air is escaping. And when you put this on your lip, you're going to rest it on this part of your lip, roll it over your teeth, and then shut, and then feel it pull closed and blow. Does that make sense? So go ahead and take it, start by putting it on your lip a little bit further. Then roll it over your teeth. Okay, now blow. Oh, you got a sound. Okay, so now blow as hard as you can and see if you can get sound out. You need to not let so much air escape from your corners. There you go. So right now she's hitting about an A or a B flat, and you want to be hitting it about a C. So go ahead and reset. So take it out, put it on your bottom lip, let your bottom lip relax, and then roll it over your teeth. And then pull these corners in. Right now we're still at an A. Try applying a little bit more pressure so you can feel it vibrate more. Closer. So now we're at the higher end of a B flat, almost a B. Okay, do that again. See if we can just get to a C. Closer. So go ahead and reset. Feel that again. Put it on your bottom lip. Roll it over. Right now you're kind of just rolling it in with your top lip. Don't worry about your top lip until you've rolled it in with your bottom. And then pull these corners closer together. Yeah! So now she's at the high end of a C. So now see if you can maintain a C for about 3 or 4 counts. Almost. So we were at a C and then we dropped back down to a B. And we have our tuner right here. Okay, so try that again. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
So, now that we've got a sound out, and every time that you go and play the oboe, you want to make sure that you are getting a C on your reed before you put your instrument together. And even in the beginning stages, you still want to take it out of your instrument and make sure that you are maintaining blowing a C. So we have our oboe right here, just setting it down right here. And the way that you put together an oboe is you take the bell, which is this part, you hold that, and then you take this middle piece, and then here we kind of have our diagram here. This is our middle piece, it's bigger. And then you'll see that there's a bunch of bridge keys and lots of little bars that make it really fragile, so you want to be careful. You always want to keep, just like saxophone, you have caps on here that keep your cork safe. So then, I'll take the reed. We'll let the reed soak while we put the oboe together. You take the bell. Oops. This is the wrong piece. This is the bottom piece. We're gonna cut that part out of the video. Okay, so this is the bottom piece. You take the bottom piece, and then here's the Yamaha logo. I find that it's easiest to look at it from down here, and you don't want to apply a lot of pressure to the bridge keys or these little buttons like you would on the saxophone, so you still got to be careful. And then you line up the keys with the Yamaha logo. And then if you do that, then the little sound holes on the bottom should be perfectly on the sides. So you always start with the bell and then this bigger body piece, and then you take the smaller body piece and you take the cap off, and this part is the hardest. So you take this and then you see these two little keys right here. These have to line up perfectly. So I like to hold it up here, so I find that I'm not applying too much pressure on the keys. And then you slide it really slowly on so that those are perfectly lined up like that. So you do that, and then I always like to make sure that the keys are lined up before I put my reed in. Yeah. Okay, so then you take your reed, put your reed in, and then same thing, you want to make sure that it is lined up with your keys. And sometimes when it's slick, I just take my sleeve on the cork and turn it. I think that that's easy to do. Okay. So we still have to apply that same amount of pressure and air that we just did on the reed using that drawstring method. And you're going to put your right hand down here on the bottom. So go ahead and take your right hand. Put your thumb under here. Okay. And then take your top hand and rest your thumb right here beneath this key. This is an octave key, and I'm going to place your fingers. So you usually have one here, one here, one here, and then this pinky is for this cluster of keys right here if you had to use them. And then a finger here, finger here, finger here. Finger here, finger here. Finger here, and then this pinky is for this cluster down here. So go ahead and just let it rest on your thumb, and I want you to pull it up naturally to your body. Yep, and keep your head and your chin up straight.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, so a lot of people when they put the oboe up to their body, they want to put their head down, but you want it to just sit naturally enough that you're not collapsing your head and you're not collapsing the oboe. So I'm going to help you position it. Keep your head up. Yeah, like that. So go ahead and not press any keys, and I can help you hold it if you want. Make sure your thumb is holding on to it right there, and you can put pressure right there. Yeah, you don't have to put it on the octave key. Okay, now go ahead and use that same method. Roll it on your bottom lip, over your bottom teeth. Pull the drawstring close to your corners. Pull inward and blow. Yeah, and so sometimes when there's spit in there, you just want to either blow it out or suck it in. Okay, so go ahead. Good. And remember, just like playing saxophone, you want to breathe from down here. So breathe from your diaphragm, big breath, do it again for 4 counts.
Nice.
Close. So let's see if you can breathe in for 4 counts, and then I'll have you just play on the oboe, not pressing anything for 4 counts. Hold on, I'll give you 4 counts, and then you'll breathe in these first 4 counts, and then you'll play for the next 4 counts. Good. Okay, this next time I want you to breathe from down here instead of letting your shoulders raise, and make sure that you're just bringing the oboe up to you and it's sitting naturally and you're not putting your chin down. So when you're ready, just nod at me and then I'll start counting for you to breathe.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Put it in your mouth so you're ready to play. Okay.
I haven't blinked this in my mouth.
Okay, here we go. Good. So one thing that you will take with you throughout your playing is you always want to have your tuner open when playing the oboe, and you affect the pitch by moving the reed in and out of your mouth a little bit, and then also how much pressure you apply. So go ahead and experiment with that, putting your lips all the way to the string, the red string right there, and then pulling it out and see what happens to the pitch. You can watch the tuner just on your own. So what happens when you pull it down? Did you notice?
It it changed.
Yeah, so your pitch went down. You went from about a C to a B, which is a whole note more flat. So let's put some fingers to it. So do you remember where your fingers are supposed to go? Yeah, you can go ahead and look. Covers this hole. And pinkies are for clusters. We'll really stick to this bottom cluster in the first few lessons for the most part, but we're going to start by just playing a nice easy B, a middle B, and all that is just this first finger. So make sure that this thumb is resting. So you won't need to use any of these other fingers. Now go ahead and see if you can get a B out. Good. See if you can make it last for 4 counts. Good. All right, let's try an A. So that's index finger and middle finger on your top hand. Still giving your support with your bottom hand. Good. So you're a little flat. And if we had more time, I would have you take the readout and we would check your tuning again. But for the sake, we're going to jump in to the book a little bit. And we're going to play this one. So go ahead and find your A again. If you have to look at your keys, you can. This is A. See if you can play that. So all this exercise is a whole note of A, and then a measure of rest for 4 counts, whole note of A, measure of rest, etc., etc. Go ahead and try that. Try to find the B flat. See if you can find that one. It's right there.
Just like this one.
Yep. So let's see if you can do going up, which is just 3 B flats. Take a more substantial breath, so you're breathing from down here still, because the oboe feels like you're using a lot of air, but it's just really direct air is what I find. So it's all going into one place. Let's try lines and spaces. You remember an A? So all A is, if you think going up or going chromatically, to go up, all you do is add this next, the index finger on your next hand. So go ahead and try lines and spaces, number 3. It's exhausting. Good. Okay, so how do your lips feel? Are your lips tired?
No, not really. They should be, but...
So let's go ahead and try C. So here's the fingering chart for C. See if you can figure that one out on your own.
Yeah.
So index and index, okay? Did you see, hold on, so before you go on, did you see what happened or hear what happened to your pitch? So you got really sharp. So go ahead and play that C and experiment with your pitch and see if you can keep it in the green for just a little bit longer. And you're using a lot of reed.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah, that's better. Go ahead and try it again. Closer.
Okay.
Put your chin up. There you go. Hold it out just a little bit more from your body. That'll help keep your chin up. Yeah, there you go. That's okay. So we'll do this exercise, which is just C's, and then we'll take your readout, see where you are pitch-wise, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Okay. I keep breathing wrong.
It's okay. Good. Okay, let's take the reed out. And I'm going to have you see if you can get a C with the tuner again and see where your pitch is at. So see how much it dropped? It could be a couple things. It could be that you're not pulling your corners in and doing that drawstring like I talked about, or that your lips are getting tired. So go ahead and just restart from the beginning. So kind of move your lips around, stretch them out, put your reed back on your bottom lip, roll it over your bottom teeth, and then put your top lip down and see if you can get a C, pulling your corners in. Close. So we dropped at the end. We started at a B flat, and then we went back down to an A.
Okay.
Go ahead and reset. Maybe putting in a little bit more reed in your mouth. Keep your chin up. Perfect. Yeah, so you went a little flat at the end. See if you can do that. Hold it for 4 counts, and then we'll put the oboe back on. Good. Okay. Do you want to try to put the reed on?
Sure.
Okay. So I like to set it on my leg. I feel like that gives me more support.
How far in is it supposed to go?
You'll feel it. So they say to put it in all the way to the end. Yeah, so once it stops is usually good, that I find. And then go ahead and look at it from the reed in front of you and make sure that this part is flat to the keys. Does that look straight?
Yeah, that's the name.
Okay, yeah, so you can go ahead and try it. Let's try, do you remember the fingerings for A and B flat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try up and down number 5. Okay.
That's not the right
Nope,
note.
so that one goes up. So it goes A, B flat, C, B flat, A. So let's go ahead and start with A. Let's just start over. Yeah, good. So you got the fingerings, and that's what this one was about. So let's try the 2 of a kind. So that's going to give you a chance to play each note twice. And the goal for this one, I want you to be able to make the second time you play the note better than the first time you played the note. And make sure that you're taking these measures of rests for the entirety to breathe so that you can sustain both notes.
Okay.
So go ahead and take a big breath and then go ahead and play number 6.
Okay.
Keep your chin up. Sorry, before you go, keep your chin up. You kind of tuck down again. Make sure you bring the oboe to you. Okay. There you go.
And that's a C starting?
Yep, that's a C. So A is
The
second to
lower
last.
and C.
Yeah.
Okay.
And C is in the middle. Breaths. Good. So for time's sake, I'm going to teach you how to disassemble the oboe real quick. So do you remember what we started with when putting it together?
The bell.
Yes. So we're going to do this this the opposite way of how we put it together. So first you would take your reed out. So go ahead and take your reed out. Pull it from right here. These two parts are very thin and it's really easy for them to break. So it's really important that you put them, I like to let mine air out. So sometimes I set it on my stand, but I have my case ready. So let's go ahead and set it on the stand so it can air out a little bit. And then when you're taking it apart, grab about right here and then right here. So right hand up top here, okay. Left hand down here, and then just twist it. So here, go like this. I'll let you finish. So go ahead and just twist it. Make sure that these keys don't overlap each other. So if they were to hit, then it would bend something out of whack and you wouldn't be able to play a lot of different notes. So then, just like to cover my bases, I put the caps back on. The small piece goes in this bottom section. And then same thing, pull where there would be the least amount of pressure. So I like to do it right here with these two fingers right here so I'm not pushing a lot of keys. And twist. There you go. Okay, and then we're going to put the cap on this one. And then you would always want to clean your oboe. So you always want to be real gentle when you're putting the cleaning cloth in and pulling it out. So we'll put this back. And then your bow back. All right, thanks for having a lesson with me.